Hi Jane, I'm Luis from American Income Life Insurance Company. I talked to you yesterday about your insurance benefit through your brother's union, the Local 51. By the way, is your husband here? Okay, these benefits apply to him as well. If you mind if we all take a seat so I can go over them with you. Now, did you talk to your brother's Mark to see what he has done for you and why I'm here today? Okay, I'll back up and I'll fill you in on what's going on. Okay, as you know, your brother Mark is a member of the Local 51. I don't know if you're familiar with unions like the firemen, electricians, or Teamsters, or even federal employees, but I'm sure that you have heard of, that they have some of the best benefits out, right? AIL is a unionized company that provides these benefits for all the unions and associations. Mark is a member in good standing, and with his American Income, he has allowed to extend some of his American Income benefits with you and to his closest family members. Do you know the difference between your temporary benefits and your permanent benefits? Well, we have great benefits through work, but when we leave, quit, or retire from our jobs, we lose all or a bulk of it within the first 31 days. However, Mark did an amazing thing for you guys. If you qualify today, you will now have permanent benefits that will allow you, and no one can ever take those away from you, okay? So make sure you thank him. Now, John, what do you do for work? Okay? And how long have you been doing that? And Jane, what do you do? Okay, how long have you been there? Okay, great. Now here's a letter of that the school gives to their union members. Okay, like it says here in the letter, my job is to buy your benefits and explain your options. When I'm finished, they will have you fill out this report card right here, okay? And you'll go back and fill it out so they know that I've been here and done my job. Is that fair? Okay, as the letter explains, they have me here for 3 reasons. 1, to inform you about the food banks, okay? 2, to explain the benefit package that Mark has qualified you for. And 3, to see if you can qualify for anything permanent. They have set up for your members of your family, okay? Now let me ask you, have either of you ever been unemployed or laid off? The reason I ask is that American Income collects foods for members in the time of need. That way they keep up with the food banks, and working is when we're at a member's home, okay? They have us ask if you would like to donate a can or 2 of food or some dry goods. Is that something you'd like to do before I leave? Remind me, okay? Now, John and Mary, this is your AT&D certificate, okay? This covers both of you when you die in any type of accident. American Income is a company that covers this benefit for you. It's non-contributory and non-participating, which means you don't have to pay for it or qualify for it. Because Mark extended these benefits to you, it's already been taken care of. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, verify here. You can verify here who you want to be your beneficiary. So you just fill out everything for me, okay? I'll put your certificate in your folder so that when something happens to you, you'll have proof of it. Does that make sense? Yes. Now here's your discount card, and I've used this at Costco's, and I'm not even a member, and I get 25% off on that, okay? It's not a health insurance. This card is at no cost and will give you discounts on vision, prescription, hearing, and chiropractic services. Here's the service number, okay? All right, this website also lists all the providers in your area. Like I said, I use it at Costco, or you can use it at Walgreens or anywhere else. Go ahead and fill out the middle section, and they will send you a card so that you can start receiving the discounts. Pretty nice benefit, huh? Okay, now these are your child safety kits, okay? Are you familiar with the Amber Alerts? Police in our communities are actively searching for over 2,300 children each and every day. This is a vital tool. Heaven forbid anything happens to your children, okay? Let me open this up. Okay, you're gonna fill out their name up front and all the vital information here down the middle, okay? Fingerprints and even a piece of hair or teeth. You're gonna wanna fill out the sections in pencil, just in case, when they grow in height and weight, you can change them. Alrighty? Some things make sure you fingerprint them, okay? That's one thing I want to emphasize on. All right. So, do you have a will set up? No? This is for you and your family, okay? This is a family information guide. Now, you fill that out so that your family will know exactly what to do, okay? After you fill this out, you want to put it somewhere safe, here at home somewhere. There's one for each of you, okay? Here's another one. On top is where you put your vital information, name, birth date, social security, etc. Have either of you ever been in the military? Okay. Persons to be notified, this is the most important part. Did you know millions of dollars go and claim in life insurance each year because there's a family that doesn't know about their insurance? They don't know how to make a claim for the company and can't find the beneficiary. So what they are saying is that you put down 5 people that are each in your local area that can be there to help your family out immediately when something happens to you. So who are the top 5 in the local area that you're going to put down for you? You know, it can be family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, anybody. Your state information goes here, okay? And you do have life insurance outside of work, right? Okay. If you do, you put it in pencil because it is temporary, okay? This part is for your financial institution's information, all right, down at the bottom. Do you use checkings or savings? List that info here, all right? Because if you die, someone in your family has to close your accounts. Down here is also the funeral service and final request. That is very important. Have either of you ever had a funeral plan? Do you want cremation or burial? Okay, either way, it's very expensive. Remind me before I go, part of the program takes care of all your final expenses, but you'll need to qualify for that. Do you see how important this guide is? Great. Now, because your relationship with Mark is in good standing with the Local 51, they're allowing you to extend the same no-cost benefit package to the people in your life, so that are helping out and if something happens to you, all right? So they're going to be receiving the same $2,000 AD&D certificate, the same one I gave you, okay? It's the health service discount card and family information guide and child safety kits on their own for themselves. Now, they do have to qualify, right? They have to be over 21, live in Texas, and be employed. Most members extend this to all their brothers, sisters, parents, and close friends. How many adult brothers and sisters do you have?
4.
Okay, who's the oldest? Okay, and all right. Well, what's your father's name? Okay, and how many children do you have over 21?
None.
All right, and who's the oldest?
7.
Okay. What neighbors have children for the child safety kits that you think they might need? Oh, okay, 2. All right, all right. Now they need their mailing address to get this out to them. All right. Let's start with your brothers and sisters. All right.
Address.
Okay. And maybe you can text them or call them while I'm doing this as well. Okay. You do text, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a text. All right. And let me know once you get it.
I have it.
Okay, great. What I want you to send in the text, all right? Okay, I was able to sponsor some of my American Income Insurance benefits made available through the Local 51 to you, okay? My rep, me, Luis Guzman, will be following up to give you the details, okay? And then put down my number as well.
Okay.
All right. Since your brother Mark, he lives in the same area, go ahead and give him a call to see if we can fill him in. I'll wait out while you do that. Okay, great. Hi, this is Luis from American Income. Do the permanent work benefits for the Local 51. I'm sitting here with your sister, and she arranged for you to receive a no-cost AD&D policy and benefit package. Yeah, what do you think of that? Cool. My job is to get it delivered to you so that you have it for your records and know what to do when something happens. The certificate of coverage that I need to drop off along with some benefits that she was able to recommend for you. It's very important. What is the best time to drop this off for you and your spouse? Okay, I better check. Okay, let me see. Great. What shifts are you available? And you, ma'am? Your wife? Okay. Great, great. And can I can take care of this for you at any time of day, so let me know if that changes, all right? Great. Okay, here's your sister. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you for that. Since you, I'll back it up a bit. Okay, sorry. Now, as they mentioned in the letter, there's a program they've set up for the members. Okay. I think I gave it to you right there. Great. Um, this is the program they've set up for you guys, and in fact, this is the Labor Advisory Board. Okay, and it consists of 54 international labor and association leaders. They're ready. This is very important because they do this to help advise and give any recommendations as to where the gaps are in your benefits and what benefits people need. They've asked me to read this letter to each of my members. Okay, so the Local 51 sponsored you, and I'll read it to you. Okay, you see, that's the reason they were chosen to do the program for unions, because they realize that typically 31 days after you leave your job, get laid off, or retire, you can lose all your insurance benefits, or they greatly reduce. These are permanent and portable insurance benefits. If you qualify, you can keep them for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
In fact, they don't just work with police, firefighters, and teachers. They work with over 40,000 groups that are A+ rated, and over 5 million members are enrolled. So they must be doing something right, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
But just because your brother Mark extended these benefits to you doesn't mean you're automatically allowed to enroll. You do have to qualify. If you are too high risk, they can't let you in. So they've asked me to ask you a couple of questions, okay, just to make sure we can qualify you. All right, one, have you ever had any arrests, including DUI? Have either of you used tobacco or marijuana in the past 12 months? Okay. Do you guys take any prescription meds?
No.
And have you ever had any health issues in your lifetime? Any family history of cancer, diabetes, or heart disease?
No.
Great. Now what I'm going to do next is a needs analysis. Based on what you told me, I'm not sure if you're qualified yet, but you do have a chance, okay? And so at least let me explain these benefits to you. The needs analysis determines need-based things on 3 things, all right? Family situation, benefits you already have, and income. So what they asked me to do is ask you a couple questions to see exactly what you qualify for, okay? Let me get your first and last name. And your husband, sir? Okay. And how many children under 18 do you have? 2? Let me get their first and last name. Okay. Date of birth for everyone?
So
Okay.
and so.
Okay. And your 2 kids?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me just finish completing this real quick. Now, John and Mary, did Mark tell you about our Power program? No, he didn't. Our Power is a very old principle that says members should take the first 2 hours of their weekly wage and set it aside to protect themselves and provide for their family's future. Now, 2 hours of your wage each week is roughly 1/20th of your income, right? And that's not going to change your lifestyle any, is it? Of course not. Any financial planner would tell you to set aside 10 to 15% of your income. Your program is based on 2 hours, which is only 5%, so all the members can afford it. Now, provided that you can qualify, they allow you to set aside $20 to $100 a week. Each member has different situations and different hourly wages. What I'm obligated to do is show you what setting aside your 2 hours combined will do and what kind of protection that will provide. Then when I'm done, Local 51 would like to have your opinion. So on the report card, make sure you fill this out again just to send it back to them. Great. Okay, so John, what do you make an hour? Okay, and Mary? All right, now what I'm going to do is show you what setting aside $20 a week will do for your family. Just like any other enrollment period provided that you can qualify for, there are forms that need to be filled out while I'm here, right? And that's not something that we can do later over the phone. So be sure to stop me at any time if you have any questions. Is that fair? All right. Now they're concerned with 3 major areas. The first one, accidental injuries. 2, final expenses. And 3, paycheck protection. Oh, the first area that they're concerned is when you are injured in any type of accident. Have either one of you thought what you would do if one of you gets injured in an accident? Well, the Labor Advisory Board and American Income have given a lot of thought. Their concern isn't
Now your medical bills won't be taken care of. You have health insurance to take care of that. When it's job related, then workers' compensation is there, and a lot of members have some form of disability. What they're concerned with is the lost wages and other expenses that start adding up. When you, John, when you end up in the hospital, even though your medical bills are taken care of, no one's there to pay you there, and Mary, vice versa. You know, God forbid something happens to you or your children. In that case, no one is working, right? John, when you or in Mary or any one of your kids gets hurt, you have to go to the emergency room. They're going to give you $150 just for taking the time to get the injury looked at. All right, that's for any kind of accident, whether you scrape your knee, need stitches, or are off the job. The money comes to you here at home. The only exception to that is when you have to stay overnight in the hospital. They're going to send you $300 a day for up to a full year. That ends up being about $2,100 a week. Now let me ask you, when the money comes in, will it help your family? Of course it will. Now the only exception is that when you have to stay in intensive care, they're going to give you $300 a day for up to 2 full weeks, okay? The reason why it's $300 a day for 2 weeks is because usually when you're in intensive care, it's a life or death situation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now the final area is, the second area they're going to be concerned with is your final expenses, okay? Now, John, who's going to be responsible of taking care of you, your funeral and final expenses, and when something happens to you? Okay. Now, let me ask you: have either one of you ever had to plan a funeral? Yes. Okay. The reason that I asked is it's a very serious problem. Now, the concern is not the fact that you're going to die, but because we all do, right? But when we die, is and our family when our family member has to face a funeral director immediately. Okay. Funeral directors these days require all or the bulk of the money up front, on the spot before they start doing anything. Or they at least want to know where the money is going to come from. Did you realize that? A lot of people don't. So while your family is waiting for the life insurance to come in, who has to take care of things in the meantime? That's right, the family, you know. You, Mary, they either have to take the money out of savings, if they have it, or worse, borrow it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now what they've done is set up the freedom of choice, okay? The certificate here. All right, you're both gonna get one. Now it's created to take care of your final expenses. If you qualify, each of you will receive your own certificates that look just like this. They call it the freedom of choice because it's good at any funeral home. This way it works when something happens to you, okay? John and Mary, you take the certificate to any funeral home you choose, and when the director looks at you and says, "I'm really sorry for your loss, John's funeral is going to be whatever the amount is, and we would like to take care of that today." At that point, you say, "John has the freedom of choice." Everything is taken care of from that point on. John, in your case, they've set aside $15,000. Mary, in your case, they've also set aside $15,000 to take care of your funeral and final expenses. What's not used at the funeral home will get sent to the beneficiary. Now, let me ask you, John and Mary, isn't it nice to finally have this taken care of for you and your family? Exactly, huh? Each of the kids are covered for $10,000, and that can be converted to $50,000 at any age, 21, regardless of their health or habits. If they've changed, okay, they can keep it for the rest of their life. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Now, the only exception to this is when you die before the age of 65, it will typically be in some kind of accident, right? John, when something happens to you in any kind of accident, not only will they immediately take care of all your final expenses, but they're going to send your family an additional $30,000 to help you out during this time. Okay, when we die in an accident, what kind of accident will it probably be? Right? That's right, a car accident. In that case, they're going to send you an additional $60,000 plus to take care of all your final expenses. Okay, and when traveling on a common carrier bus like a plane, train, or taxi or Uber, they'll send you an additional $150,000 to the family. Each of your children are covered for up to 20% of the parents for those same accidental deaths. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Third area, the paycheck protection. All right. The third problem that they're concerned about is your paycheck. John, you're on your way home from work and you get killed in a car accident or pass away from a stroke or heart attack. Is your paycheck gonna keep coming to support Mary and the family? I'm sorry. Of course not. Your paycheck vanishes just like that. But taking care of the family, putting food on the table, paying the bills, those all stay pretty much the same. So Mary, the bills keep coming in month after month, and John's paycheck is gone, right? Yeah, but let me ask you, do you have life insurance? Right, hopefully 700 and 900,000, maybe 10 times the annual income. And we realize that, and all the members that do have life insurance. But here's what happens in a typical situation. When you die, your family immediately has to start dipping into those lump sums. First for reimbursement for your burial and miscellaneous expenses. And then because your paychecks have stopped coming in, you have to keep dipping into your savings to pay bills and put food on the table. And then a year or two later, what happens to all that money? That's right, it's completely disappeared and is gone. So here's the paycheck protection and readjustment income. John, when something happens to you, they're gonna start sending Mary a paycheck for the next month, and every single month after that for a minimum of 1 full year. Now the reason that you chose at least a year is because you need a decent time to adjust. A couple of months just isn't enough, and it ain't gonna do it. So does that make sense? Now what they're gonna do, in your case, John, when you die, they're gonna start sending Mary whatever amount of money it is for a single month for 1 year, okay? For any cause of death. Mary, when something happens to you, to John, they send you and your family that check every month, and will give you and your family time to adjust. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Of course it will. Now you'll be in a position that when that does happen, you take the money you receive and get it invested for your future, children's education and retirement. Does that make sense? And Mary, when something happens, you and John will receive X amount of dollars. Okay, great. Now this does build an emergency fund. After 3 years, if things ever get tight financially, there will be some money to help take care of your program during that time, right? So don't lose it. There are also paid up benefits so that when you retire, you can stop contributing to the program and keep your reduced paid up final expense benefit for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh? Now, the terminal illness rider, have you ever thought about what you will do if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness? Well, they put a lot of thought into it. In fact, they realize you're going to need a lot of cash. When you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and not expected to live more, in the state of Texas, they're going to send you half the final expense and paycheck protection. The other half will come to your family when you are gone. Okay? There's a strike and layoff clause so that you can't lose your program. In fact, in case of a union strike, they will take care of your insurance benefits for you up to a year, and you'll never have to pay it back. Okay, John, even if you can't make it to work just one day because of a strike, they will take care of your benefits. Okay, so they'll take care of it for the whole month up to the whole year, to the exact dollar amount. And on layoffs, as long as you have been working at least in the past 12 months, they will take care of your program for up to 3 months, and you never have to pay it back. Pretty nice, huh? Also, the insurance benefits are guaranteed and non-cancelable, which means if you qualify, then no matter what happens to the future of your health, age, or habits, no one can ever take this away from you. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I have showed you what setting aside 2 hours will do for you and your family. Let's review it to make sure it's clear. Your accidental injury benefits are there for you and your family. Your freedom of choice is there. Your certificate covers both of you. And the children, and for any cause of death, there it is until it needs to be used. Okay, it's going to be there until it needs to be used. Your paycheck protection and all your protections on the side here. Make sure no matter what happens moving forward, you never have to lose your benefits after today. Even if you change jobs, get very sick or move. Again, can you see why these are so important in your life? Yeah. Great. So now my job, because of your relationship with Mark, what he did for you is going to give you an opportunity to get enrolled today and to see what you can qualify for. The best part is they set up a payroll deduction, okay? But they do it once a month through your own checking account. That way, when you change jobs or retire, you won't have to worry about losing the insurance benefits because they're all under your control, not your employers or the unions. Pretty nice, huh? Now, John and Mary, let's face it, we're all going to die. We don't have a choice. Either we deal with this now, or someone in your immediate family will. Your brother, your sister, your children will have to deal with this if something happens. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, most important question, all right? Now, you will have to answer some medical questions to see if you can even qualify. But probably the most important question I need to ask you is, when something happens to both of you, say in a bad car wreck, there will be a little over an undisclosed amount. What do you want that money to go?
My kid.
Okay, great. Now, it doesn't make a difference which program you qualify for. Most families try to qualify for their 2 hours combined a week, which is what I went over with you earlier. Some families ask if they can do more, set aside more for their family and double their benefits. Okay? Or sometimes members choose a more basic program just to get started, and they know they will upgrade down the road provided they still qualify. Which way do you want to go?
The first choice.
Okay, great. While you're thinking about which options, okay, I'll go ahead and ask you these medical questions to make sure you can even qualify.
Okay.
All right. As we fill out the applications, make sure to get the email correct. Multiple phone numbers, affiliation. Okay, the month, there's a 12-day draft rule, right? The monthly amount will process every month on today's date, okay?
Okay.
I can also make it for any day between now and the next 12 days.
Okay.
Is there any particular date that you want to choose?
The 5th.
Okay, that's the day we're most likely going to process it on, okay?
Okay.
Remember that, well, we can't choose the 29th or the 31st, okay? Let me get you a voided check so I can get your account information.
Okay.
Okay, the oral specimens have been completed, and so, let me finish up here on the computer. Okay, your policies will arrive within the next 4 to 8 weeks. Once received, you've been permanently qualified and accepted, okay?
Okay.
Show your let's go over your policy and paid up values. Okay, monthly income amounts, total face amounts. Just any questions, I'll explain them to you again. And let me set up your folder. Okay. There are 5 things that can happen during the qualification process. Okay. First of all, you might be declined, in which in this case they send everything back to you. All right. Rating to offset the risk of pre-existing conditions. Okay. Great news, because you're qualifying standard for someone with your condition. So you can do the rating and keep the benefits the same, or do the same amount set up to date and decrease the benefits slightly. Okay.
Okay.
They might send out a nurse for a no-cost physical. All right. They're gonna check your height, weight, and blood pressure. Okay. At any time at your own convenience. You gotta qualify for the program standard. All right. And 5th, just want to make sure I did everything correct today. So if you have any questions, this is a time that I can help you out and fill out any paperwork. And all this stuff needs to be kept here safe at home. Okay. And that's it with this. John and Mary, the next part is very important. Okay. Other than affordability or because this covers everything in one, what are the top 3 reasons that you have these insurance benefits?
They're great. They're great. Great services.
Okay, great. We're all finished here. You have finally taken care of all of this, and you can finally take this off your checklist. Okay, how do you feel?
Great.
Well, congratulations. It's very important for you to understand that now you have this. You should never lose it. If anything ever needs to change, or you need help, call this service number. Okay, the one right here.
Okay.
All right. Please make sure to let your friends and family know that I will be contacting them.
Okay.
I will also call you next week to say hello, and just have an awesome day. Okay.
All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
All right.
And here you go.
Thank you.
All right.